In this video I'm going to show you how to make the maze game with Scratch. Okay, so the first thing to do is to open up the Scratch program. You can either open it up through the start menu or you can go onto the Scratch website. We use the Scratch website. So click Scratch, Google, go onto it, click try it out, wait for it to load up, and sometimes it can take a while. There we go. Right. First thing you can do is you can get rid of this screen. On Scratch we've got two things. We've got the backdrop or the background of our game, and we've got the sprite that's the character of the game. And by the time you get to this point, I've already introduced you to these two things. Okay, so I'm only going to go over this very briefly. With the sprites, the characters, we can change its appearance by changing its costume. Okay, by changing its costume, you can make it do things like it's running, and we can also program it by using the scripts tab. Okay, with the background, very similar. We can change the appearance of the background by changing the backdrops. Okay, and we can also add scripts to it if we wish. Okay, in this game what we're going to make, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a maze game. Okay, and then the first thing we need to do in our maze game is we need to create a maze character. So we'll just get rid of the cast, bye cast. Click on the paintbrush here. Okay, I'm going to draw a square, and this next bit's really important. When you're drawing a square, you'll fill line when you've done that, you must go over to get the cross and set the centre. You can see it's just off centre at the moment, so when I was using the keys it would jump around under R1. What we'll do, get the cross, click in the middle. Click in the middle, okay, and now there that it's set right where it needs to be. And once you've done that, you can go to your scripts, okay. I'm going to be making a simple maze game, and I'm going to drag my sprite where I want the sprite to start off with, which is my game is going to be over on this side. Okay. We then need to start to code our script, so make sure that you've got your sprite selected. You can see the blue box around the outside. If you've got the stage selected, this won't work. Make sure you've got the sprite selected, blue box around the sprite side. Go to script, go to events, and we need to say when the green flag is clicked. So as soon as the program starts, we want this program to run. Okay. What I want the sprite to do is go to this position, so I'm going to go to motion. Okay, I'm going to say go to, and what you'll notice is when I move, if you just check down here, when I move, it automatically updates the position that you've got the sprite in. So move it to where you want it to go first, then grab the box out, it'll be preset. We want it to point in direction. Now I want it to go right across the screen. If I click on the drop down, 90 right, okay, and we're set up now to go. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to program the character to move across the screen. So we're going to have to create a loop, okay, because we want it to continuously happen while the game's being played. So we're going to go into control, the control section, we're going to go into forever, and the first thing we need to do is we need to go to motion, we need to choose move. Now 10 steps is quite fast, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this variable here. I'm just going to slide it down to 4. Okay, and to show you, if I test my script now, the sprite should start moving across the screen. There you go. Lovely. Okay. You can notice every time I click the green flag, it starts off from the same position, which is the script here. We then want to program in, using selection, using if statements, some key controls. So when you input a key on the keyboard, the character, the sprite, will change direction. So we're going to go back to control, we're going to get an if statement. Okay, in fact, I'm going to do this over here and I'm going to drop it in one row. We need 4, and it's going to be 4 for each. Let's settle. All I'm doing is right clicking, duplicating it, right click, duplicating it. So there's our 4 keys. Then I'm going to go to sensing. Okay, you see this one here where it says spacebar? Well, we can change that to which key we want it to be. So drop it in. I'm going to go up arrow. Okay, drag it out again. Down arrow, drag it out again. Left arrow, drag it out again. right arrow. Okay? Then what we need to do is we then need to point the mouse, sorry, the sprite in whichever direction we want it to do. So we just go back to motion, okay, pointed direction, okay. If we press up, we want to go up, okay. You'll notice when you select these, okay, pointed direction, it actually tells you which way. So if we go down, we'll go down 180 degrees, okay, remember this is degrees. If we go left, we go left. And then finally, pointing direction, if we then go, sorry, no, selected right. If we press right, we want to go right. I can now then grab this block and I can drop it into here. So, if I run the script now, and I use the arrow keys, you can see that I've got lovely movement. I've got it moving around the screen exactly as I want it to do. Okay, we'll be juggling. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create our maze for the game. So this time we need to go to stage. Okay, so we're going to go to stage, backdrops. Okay, we've got the first one backdrop wrong. Get the square. I'm just going to select this solid one. Let's keep this nice and simple, red. We're going to have a maze. And all I'm doing is I'm using the squares to draw my very simple maze. You can see it's quite easy to do. Okay, just have another one here. If you make a mistake, you've got to edit and do it. Right, that'll be perfect for what I want to do. Okay, so there's my first maze, and at the end of it, what we need to do is we need to have a colour. Okay, so we've got a colour for the wall, okay, which is red, and then a colour for the end of the maze, which in my example is this light blue. Okay, so I'm also going to add in another background, so this will be the second level. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this, and the reason I'm going to duplicate this is that I want my character, my sprite, to start off in the same position. Okay, and then I'm going to get this tool here, the selection tool. Sorry, I've got a one. That's why. So I'm going to get the selection tool here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select over, okay, hit delete, okay, just delete this bit as well. And what I've got now is I've got a start, so I'm going to make a new maze now, so let's go, I want it to be red, no, redo, so let's go for red, same red again, okay, but this time we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. So we've got to go up. I'm just using that selection tool with the delete button to get rid of it. So we go up. Right, there you go. I'm going to go for a different colour this time at the end of my maze. There we go, brilliant. So what I've got now is I've got two mazes. Level 1, level 2. Okay, I'm going to go back to my sprite now, because what we need to do is we need to program this, okay, so that when we hit the red wall we get ready to go back to the start. When we hit the blue wall at the end, we go to the next level. So really easy to do this. We use if statements again. So what I'm going to do is just click one out here. We're going to be using 2. Okay, go back to sensing, but this time instead of key, what we're going to do is sensing colour. Drop in 2 colours, touching colours. Okay, now what I need to do is I'm going to touch where it's green currently, click it, and then I'm going to click on the colour I want it to be. So I want that one red, and I want this one to be turquoise. Okay, what I then want is if I touch red, I want to go back to this same position. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate and delete this. I just want this one back. So when I touch red, I'm going to go to that same position. Okay. When I touch blue, what I want it to do is I'm going to say looks. I'm going to say hello. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to say level complete. Okay. Say level 1 complete. 2 seconds. And then what we're going to do is we're going to wait for 1 second, and then looks. We're then going to switch to background 1. Now, to make sure we always start on the first level, I'm just going to put this other one here at the top. So when green flag picked, go to background 1. When we touch green, go to background 2. We also need to add in the position again because we want it to start from the start. So I'm just going to duplicate it and put that in to go to position, the starting position again. And then finally, what we want to do is we want to point in direction. Okay, so point direction. We want it to go right, which is already set up to do. So now I'm going to click this code in. Okay, so if touch red, go back to start. If touch blue, say level 1 complete. Wait 1 second, switch to the next level, the next backdrop, and go back to the start position again. So let's see if it works. Okay, not very good at this game. Oh no. Now what I'm going to do is, because I made this too difficult, I'm just going to make my script, sorry, my sprite smaller. And I'm just using these to grow and shrink. And make it smaller. It's just because I'm not very good. Okay, so when I now play my game, that's a bit smaller, hopefully. There we go, brilliant, it's easy to do now. Should say level 1 complete. Okay, we've gone on straight to the next level. Okay, so this one's a bit harder. Okay, so we get to the end. And oh no! Nothing happened. Because what we would then need to do is we then need to say what's going to happen when we get to the next bit. Now I'm going to duplicate this code. Okay, touching colour. But we're going to make it purple. So this time we're going to say level 2 complete. Okay. And then what we would do is we could swap to the next backdrop, and it would go on and it would go on and so forth, and you would just keep changing these for each level. What I'm going to do, because I want to do this quickly, is I'm not going to change to another background. What I'm then going to say level 2 complete. Then I'm going to say game over, and I'm also going to wait a second. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it to go back to switch to background 1. Switch to background 1. Okay, and start again. And again, I'm just going to duplicate these 2 bits of code so it starts in the same position pointer. So what my game will do now, if we play it, okay, so we start it, here we are, the really easy level. Goes on to the next level. Okay. And hopefully, what should happen when we get here, level 2 complete, then it should say game over, and then it should start back again at the start, which it does brilliantly. So, the only other thing I'm going to show you here is how to add in another moving obstacle, because at the moment the game's a bit easy. So what I'm going to do here is going to add a new sprite. So add a new sprite, okay. I'm going to make it red because it's going to fit in with the same colour, so it's going to be a moving obstacle here. Okay, I'm going to draw. So here I'm going to draw my red edge. And again, I'm going to get the point, but on this one I'm going to put my point because I want it to turn on this edge up here. Okay, so that'll be perfect. And going into scripts, okay, event, when green flag is clicked, I'm going to put it just here so you can just see. Okay. When green flag is clicked, okay, forever, so it loops, motion, okay, turn, I'm going to get to turn 1 degrees. Now you could also use glide here, so you can get it to glide to one position, then you have another glide and a glide to another. Okay, but for this example here, you'll have to have a play around with that. For this example, I actually get it. So if I run it now, can see that my red sprite turns on its own. But I don't want my sprite to appear on the first level. Okay, this is the easy level. I want it to be on the second level. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to use broadcast and go back to my original character. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to control. I'm going to go to where it says, sorry, events, not control, events. I'm going to broadcast message. I'm going to drop this at the very top. When you start the game, where it says message 1, I'm just going to say new message for level 1. Okay, and then when we get down here and we get to our last bit where it says level 2. Okay, so when we get onto this level 2, okay, I'm going to broadcast. New message. Okay, level 2. And I'm just going to drop it in again here so when we finish the game, level 1. And what this broadcast will do, it will hide my moving sprite. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the sprite. Okay, I'm going to say, when I receive level 1, looks. Okay, when I receive level 1, we want to hide it. Duplicate this. When I hear level 2, get rid of the hide. Okay, when I hear level 2, show. Okay, so if I do my game now, we just hit when the green flag is clicked, spin around. When I hear level 1, hide. When I receive level 2, show. So you click the green flag, and you can notice that the sprite's not there, it's missing. Oh god, missed it, sorry. So the sprite's missing. Okay, and now I'm on level 2 where it should show. Okay, you can see. There it is, sneaking around. Okay, I've got my hidden sprite. So if I finish this game now, okay, let's see if we can get past it. Very difficult. Now we go back to the first level 1, and hopefully if we've done this right, when it goes back, the sprite's gone. Okay, so to do that, what I've used is I've used broadcasts. Here, level 1 broadcast means that the sprite's hidden. Level 2, where it says that here we move on to it, means it appears. Okay, and I've used the hide script on the actual moving sprite. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is we're going to add a scoring system. Now mine's going to be very, very simple. Okay, I've only got 2 levels, but I just want to show you how it works. So if you click data, click make a variable, call it score. Okay. I'm going to click it because I only want it to work on this one, for this sprite only. Okay, so we've got score. Now what I'm then going to do is go to. I'm just gonna undo that actually. I'm going to delete that variable. What I've done is I've clicked it on the moving sprite. Make sure when you do this that you click the sprite character. So again, I'm going to click on the sprite. See, it's got a blue box. It's my character, my moving one. Make a variable. I'm going to call it score. Okay. Now, when we first start the game, I'm going to set score to 0. Okay, there you can see set score to 0. You can see it's up there. And then what I want to do is, when we finish this level and we get to here, I want to add some points on. So change score by 1 point. Okay. What I want to do is just going to drop right back here. So change score by 1. Change score by 1 when we get to the last level. So what we should be able to do is, if we do this properly, we should be able to get 2 points when we run it. Okay, so if I run my game now, let's try it. Okay, so you can see, zoom out so you can see all the bits. Okay, so if I run it, we start off on 0. It should go up back to 1. There you go, excellent. Level 1, we've got 1 point. And let's see if we can get through this last bit. Now, this is difficult now, so it's a bit faster. Oh, now we've got it. Let's see if we can get through. And hopefully this should go to 2. And then it should Oh no, so what I'd have to do to finish this off, I would then have to, at the end, get the set score to 0. So if I just run this through one last time to show you it working. First level, okay, the score, adds 1 on. Second level, okay, hopefully if we've got this right, goes to 2, and now it should reset itself when it starts again. There you go, brilliant, it works. Now you can use what I've just shown you to make your full game. Obviously both of yours should be a lot more exciting than mine. Sayonara.